From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander. On this episode, a native Hoosier and IU Kelley School of Business graduate Richard Hall co-founded Hall Madden, utilizing a unique business plan and $500. Now he owns 10 locations across the United States.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Running your business day to day.
You know, I'm a born and raised from Indianapolis. I went to Park Tudor High School, and then I was a direct admit down at the Kelley School. So I studied finance and entrepreneurship. Basically, while I was studying, lots of my friends went into investment banking. And I sort of liked the idea of, you know, at the time I was reading a lot of case studies about China and sort of the import-export business. And that's kind of what I was interested in. And then especially when, you know, we hit the recession around 2008, that's where I basically, you know, did my study abroad. I had my study abroad through a sister program in Hong Kong. And then I actually had another program in Shanghai, and that's actually where I got a job. So straight out of Kelley School, I basically lived and worked in China for 4 years. When I first started working there, I worked in a trade office. So we were dealing a little bit with like construction materials. I just needed a job, right? So I kind of worked in an export office. I got a little taste in like some uniform business and some clothing business. And it was a passion of mine as well. And so then I was able to sort of start that a little bit on the side and just selling to friends and family and then moving from there. But yeah, you know, the good old Kelley School. What really kind of put off the light bulb was when we started selling this back in the United States, and we got enough interest. We went through enough iterations on the product where, you know, it's all about iterating and improving when you first start a business. If you look at our Generation 1 suits, we've come a long way, you know, as far as in terms of the construction and the shoulder pads and all of that. I would say the light bulb really came on when we were actually getting a little bit of traction. We both decided we didn't sort of want to be in China anymore, and we could actually create a business out of this. So that came, I would say, about 2 years after we initially started it out in China. Essentially what we do is we sell customs. We're famous for our custom suits. From there, we've branched into casual wear, like what Jaime's wearing behind me, sort of like a safari coat, knitwear, and various products. If you're a client, a prospective client, whether you're a business or weddings and events, you come in for the initial fitting and you typically meet with a showroom expert in one of our nationwide showrooms. It's about an hour-long process. We fit you, we walk you through the process. You come back in for your second fitting once the garment's made, and then we may do some small tweaks. So it's basically a 3-appointment process. You know, for whatever you need, you know, wedding suit or for, you know, business and all that. What clients really like about our process is that once they're in our system, they're saved. So rather than kind of searching, going to the mall and trying to search something, they can just, you know, potentially even text us ideas or come in or have their girlfriends or wives come in and pick things out for them. So yeah, we do a lot of weddings events. We do, you know, some business casual wear and all of that. With business, it's all about persistence. I mean, I can't say that enough. I mean, we usually get 5 no's or 5 lacks of a response before we get a yes. And I'll give you a great example of this. One of the largest makers of fabric in in terms of luxury is Loro Piana. Right, I'm wearing a Loro Piana jacket now as far as the fabric goes. And when we first started the business, many of our clients were asking, hey, do you have Loro Piana fabric? Do you have Zegna fabric? And we didn't have that to offer. We had sort of the middle Italian tier fabrics. McGregor and I actually took a trip to Italy, and we physically went to the Loro Piana, the mill in Biella, and we're knocking on the door. We drove a little Fiat all the way there, and we're knocking on the door, and they're like, who are you guys? And then we came in, we said, we sent a bunch of emails. You guys clearly aren't responding. I wanted to show you some of our order history, and we need to create an account with you. And with that said, we actually became, 4 or 5 years ago, their largest cut length buyer for the United States. So it all started with a Fiat and knocking on their doors to now, being a serious purchaser of their fabric. So to your question, what does it take? It takes persistence. The great thing about custom suits is that, we've always been able to keep our overhead relatively low. We're usually on like a second floor retail. We're not on the first floor. The reason why is because we developed a good enough online presence where we're almost like we're by appointment only, essentially. So it's not your traditional. And what's great about that is that clients come in, they have, an expert like Jaime or like myself meet with them and like really go through the product without the distraction of the people coming in and out. With that said, Jaime and myself, we've worked, regular retail. So we're able to attract the experts within the industry because of this environment that we create. It's a culture of expertise. With that low overhead, we started in the custom suit game. That's kind of the creme de la creme. We're kind of like the trickle down approach where we start with a great product and then we can move in. What does scare us is buying sort of larger quantities of things, because the last thing in retail business, you kind of can get killed by your overhead or get killed by, inventory. So, but now that we have a good enough following where we've really captured the wedding market, where we're selling to the grooms are actually asking us, hey, I have 8 groomsmen, where can I go? And so now we're creating this entire stock service line, which is more around that $500 to $600 price point for more of a mass-made, ready-made suit for those guys. Right now, we're still in the beginning stages of this. It looks like China may not want to play ball. Fortunately for us, we actually moved our main production out of China into India and into Italy during COVID. So it looks like India is going to play ball, so it won't affect us as much. It may affect some of our ancillary products like the hangers and the garment bags. But yeah, that's a major concern. And if you're manufacturing in China, you should be on it to explore other options. In China, they're all about saving face, right? And so it's kind of might be like 2 dogs barking at each other for a while. Meanwhile, you've got other countries like India and Vietnam who are going to try to capture some of that business. We sort of focused a little bit of expansion in Texas, and we're working on that now. And I was just in Chicago last week. We do have a brand new renovated showroom in Chicago, and many of our clients like to even have an excuse to go to Chicago. And then once they get fitted in the system, it's relatively straightforward for them to build out their wardrobe. It's only a 3-hour drive. And wait till the weather's nice, it won't be too bad. Hopefully one day, I am hoping to open a showroom maybe in the Carmel area. And that once we're solidified in Texas, I think the Midwest will be our next expansion.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business Equity and Opportunities Podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, BEOshow.com. You can watch Business Equity and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunity Show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at BEOshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.